It's Oklahoma Soda Gal, aka your Thunder Auntie Brittany, here with your other Thunder Auntie Paula. How you doing, Paula?
Hi guys, I am good. How are you after this crazy NBA week?
It's woo Was that a deadline or what? It like started early too, because like a lot of times the deals only start hitting like on deadline day, but it just within the couple days of the deadline, it just started popping off.
Yep. Just started rolling and it's like, but the funny thing is you always hear, well, the Thunder are going to be interested at the trade deadline. It's like you don't have a clue. Samuel and the Thunder, they don't tell anybody anything. Come on.
Anytime you hear rumors that suggest Thunder are, making a play for so and so, you can almost guarantee that that is some bit of information that another agent is trying to put out to like finagle something for their own client because the Thunder are notoriously tight-lipped as an
Very much
organization,
so.
and almost every trade they've ever made feels like it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then we all look at it and go, "Oh, that was a good thing." Okay. It wasn't even on my radar.
Exactly.
Unexpected.
Exactly. Speaking of unexpected, Jared McCain, welcome to the
Yes.
Thunder. That
Hello, welcome.
that was
Yeah,
not a name I heard anybody rumoring the Thunder to be looking for, but what a
not
nice pickup.
such a nice pickup. And it's funny because somebody said, "Oh, here he comes. You guys better be ready for dance videos." And I'm like, "Have you met our guys? Have you seen throughout the years the dance videos that the guys do? He'll
I mean,
fit right
that's a
in."
tradition going all the way back to like Russ KD and Jeff Green.
Oh, Russ and Cameron Payne on the sidelines? Come
Oh,
on.
right. The whole patty cake routine they
Come
had.
on. Yes.
So yes, that kind of fun teammate is exactly the kind of guy that we like to bring into our Oklahoma City Thunder system. Um,
And he's a shooter.
he's a great shooter. For those of you who don't know, he was a rookie last year for the Sixers, and he played like the first quarter of the season before he got hurt and had to miss the rest of the season. But that first quarter of the season last year, he was showing up every week on the NBA Rookie of the Year ladder, like as one of the top three potential Rookie of the Year people. So this is a player that has a lot of potential. He shot around 40% from three last season, and he's shooting about 39% from three this season. So, yeah, good 3-point shooter. He's another guy that can handle the ball, kind of a la AJ Mitchell. Now, I've heard that his defense is maybe not quite up to snuff, but I'm guessing that the Thunder will work on that with him for one, and for two, we have so many other defenders. It's kind of a situation where now we need shooters.
Yeah. We'd love a good two-way, but we need shooters right now. And, the Thunder have always a previous injury to a player is not necessarily going to hinder, Samuel from getting his guy. And and look at the strides that our medical team has made with some of the injuries of the rooks that have come in, and then
Mhm.
how strong they are, So I'm I'm not as concerned with his injury history and just very excited to get him in as a player and a teammate in the locker room and help our shooting.
He might be a fun one to try to get as our first player guest for the Thunder Gals. Because how fun would it be to have our first guest be the guy that paints his nails?
You know, Uh, that would be great. And I would love to point that out. But it's so funny because that sounds so dramatic. But then I go and I look and I see that our guys are just their fits. Shay, I'm just Shay. You know, some may say some of his outfits may be effeminate, but I mean, let's look at Russ. Yeah, Russ showed up in a skirt, or Russ. We've been known to have these eclectic dressers that continue to be listed as best dressed and best fit. So to me, I think
Yeah,
maybe we've come to a point that hopefully, fingers crossed, nails being painted isn't as dramatic.
it shouldn't be, but we'll see. I'm just excited. I love guys that are willing to push fashion boundaries and not feel constrained by gender and like that they can't
No,
have fun. Because, what the hell are we doing all this for if we can't have some fun in life?
exactly. I mean, the whole thing is you've got these really tall young boys out there bouncing a basketball and playing a ball game every day. That's the definition of fun. Make everything else around it fun.
Yeah, so it's exciting. Back at Duke, he was so renowned for his nail polish that he even had an NIL deal with Sally Hansen Nail Polish Company.
Oh, I
It was
love
like
that. I hadn't heard
it
that
was
part.
called the most valuable polish line.
Nice. Love a good collaboration. That's so cool. I love
Well,
it.
we're welcoming Jared McCain, but to welcome somebody in means we also had to give somebody up at this trade deadline. And that
Sigh.
somebody was Ousmane Dieng. So today we're saying goodbye to Oos.
Goodbye
Goodbye
to
to
ooze.
Oos.
Yeah, it's unsurprising considering everything that had been going on, with AJ Mitchell stepping up. It's like Oos is good. He's not getting the minutes here that he needs, and he hasn't made the step forward, in my opinion, that would have, I mean, they would have renewed his contract by now.
Yeah, and for as much as I was just a moment ago saying, the Thunder are very tight-lipped, they may be tight-lipped, but you can divine from clues sometimes. And one thing we do know about Sam Presti is when a rookie comes up for their first rookie extension, if he does not extend that rookie, there tends to be a good chance he's going to trade that person for some other assets down the line. And that's what happened here. So when we say it's not surprising, it's not that it was not surprising because there were rumors emanating from the locker room that something was wrong. It's that we had clues based on he didn't get that extension, and so Sam's going to try and get something for that rather than lose
Context
him for
clues.
nothing.
Context clues. Now, while we may have tentatively expected that Oos would go, we had no idea what we'd get back. And this Jared deal is just I'm seeing upsides, so that's good. But poor Oos. I say poor Oos. I like
NBA
to think,
champion Oos.
I'm sorry, let me clarify. NBA champion, uh Oklahoma City Blue champion, Thunder legend Ousmane Dieng, you know, bless his heart, traded three times in 24 hours. So hopefully, so he went from here to Charlotte to Chicago to the Bucks. And I certainly hope that he has an opportunity at the Bucks with the way their season's going. Give him some minutes. It would be great for him.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good landing spot for him right now. That's a team that's in flux, that's looking for what their next pieces are going to be. Maybe he can get a little playing time down the stretch of this season on a team that doesn't really look like it has a lot of playoff hopes ahead of it. Um, you know, I have to bring this up. I know we didn't talk about it pre-show, but since we're talking about Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo
Oh,
at 2:01 p.m. Central on deadline day.
Mm,
makes a
mhm.
post about, legends don't go chasing, they attract or something. It's just like making it seem like he wanted to stay in Milwaukee the whole time. This guy has been passive aggressively suggesting he wants out for like
For
2 years
years.
or
Every
more.
time every time the trade deadline comes around, he does nothing to stop any discussion. He kind of encourages it. He's kind of flippy flop. And at this point, literally, people are like, and like, okay, well, wherever you go, you're going to take all your brothers with you too. So who's got cab space to take on all the brothers?
I
And then
I
what is
just had I had to bring this up. I just, oh my
the
goodness.
timing was just like I know my timeline was just like, are you serious? Really, really? Like, come on. I
Like
was just
tone deaf. Just tone deaf.
like, it's
This is
not
like he
cute,
booed his own fans like 2 weeks ago.
right? Like, come on. But I mean, it's the boy cried wolf. Nobody's really going to take it seriously. At whenever juncture it finally does come around, if it comes
It's
around.
it's also a little bit of a cautionary tale for us Thunder fans though, because you just never know what's gonna. Just a few years ago, they were coming off a championship.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
He brought this medium-sized market, their, first championship in decades. And, it looked like, he was going to be at the top of the heap for a minute. And, he's still individually good, but that team has just cratered around him. And so it's why
Yeah.
we've got to like just don't take for granted any wins or any of
Mm-mm.
the good times we have, because look how quickly that can all change.
I don't know if it was Dame going down, if that really just triggered everybody up there going, well, crap, what now? Like I don't know what the actual final, trigger was, but everybody is looking at them like, I say that. I'm generalizing. Yes, I realize. However, most people, I would presume, are looking at them like they're not contenders right now. Like nobody's really taking them seriously right now. And then when your star is on the court, sitting on the court, booing your fans, like where I would never ever see one of our boys. Well, there was one I could see that would have done it. The boys we have today, I don't. I don't see doing it. Shay would
Who
never. Shay
is
would
is
never.
is the one you're thinking of who might have done it? Does his name start with Reggie and end with Jackson?
Yes, as I nod very much so for our audio listeners. He's never getting over the accusations. Never, never. Sorry. That's what it is. But I do want to say one thing, and we didn't talk about this either, but I want to talk about disrespecting stars. Former Thunder legend Chris Paul, back to the Clippers for his, retirement tour. And then they yank him off and send him home and do nothing with him. Unceremoniously trade him to the Raptors, who are cutting him.
Yeah.
What kind of retirement? I mean, he can get under people's skin. Don't get me wrong, but to me, it just looks so disrespectful. And I don't know, maybe the Raptors will pull something out and do something kind for him leaving. I don't know. It's just bizarre to me. So,
I feel terrible for the way Chris Paul's career is ending. It's at least partially on him, maybe for sticking around for one more season. I
I get
think
it.
had he retired after last season, where he had a pretty nice season for the Spurs, helping kind of guide some of their young guys, maybe he could have gone out on his own terms, but it sure seemed like the reason he went back to the Clippers was for that to be, hey, you guys were the franchise where I spent the bulk of my prime and
Yep.
like was the leader of the only time that the Clippers had a consistently good team. And
Right. And I don't know. It just, yes, I understand the
that it
NBA
would it
big
would
business.
it would be like if the Thunder had signed Russ back at the beginning of this season with it being like a retirement tour, and then we kicked him out of the team like 2 months into the season. Like
I would be
that's the
permanently
level of legend we're talking about to the
I would be
franchise.
permanently camped outside the Thunder offices day and night with the sign. Like I'd record from, I would be so mad. That's all. But yes, that
I'm with you.
level.
I am with
Yeah.
you.
We'll be,
I'm with you.
we'll be comfy down there. It's fine. It's fine. They'll get used to us. But that won't happen because our organization that we are fans of, I do not believe would treat our players that way.
I don't either, based on everything I've heard from guys who used to play for the organization.
Well, and they do
Um,
have the Thunder Legends organization that where they have the, for the ex-athletes and so that they do still have a community. So if you're building in this community to help your guys after they've transitioned out of sports and may not have the local community or support team, you can't tell me they're just going to just drop one of our guys like that.
yeah,
As rude, I mean, they may cut them and move them to another situation, but never treat them the way they're treating Chris Paul.
yeah, never in this kind of just get out of here kind of way. That was just dirty. And
But anyway,
it's why the Clippers are the way they are. So
yeah, with James Harden, I don't know, being traded. Oh, and then,
what a weird deal.
right? I mean, like, can they mail us their pick? Can we email it? Like, how do we get their pick that they clearly want to give us? They just want to hand it to us.
I mean, I'm
I mean, I'll
okay
go
with
out there and
it.
get it. I'll fly out. I'll go. I'll pick it up. I got no problem.
That one caught my eye because it was Tuesday night. I wasn't even expecting trades to go down yet because like the
No.
deadline wasn't till Thursday. And I had up here in Minnesota, we had our Democratic Farmer Labor Party caucuses Tuesday night.
Hmm.
So I went with some of my neighbors to go participate in democracy. And, I get back home and like start checking my phone and going, wait, James Harden got traded while I was out for an hour and a half? Like, what happened?
At his request.
It
How come
had to
all these
be
people
because he
are
had a
going to
no
the,
trade clause.
yeah, but everybody's going to the East?
Can't
I
blame
mean,
him. I can't
no.
blame him there.
If anything, it will give a little bit more parity. And I know that sounds so cocky, but it's true. I mean, the West is so stacked, and if you have some pieces that do go, and it may give it some parity and some, now some of them are in the later stages of their career, so maybe not as much, but
I have a friend who is from Cleveland and she is a big Cavs fan.
mhm.
And she was very upset at the trade. She wanted to keep Garland and could not believe they would trade him for Harden, whose history suggests that he has great regular seasons and then that's it.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can't get over the finish line. No, I get it. I get it. I mean, and Garland is good. Don't get me wrong, the Clips, but it's clear that the Clips are trying to clean their bench right now.
well, they got rid
It
of
appears.
Zubats as well. Like
Yeah.
they moved a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what they look like because Kawhi is like kind of quietly having one of his best years in the league. He's having his highest scoring average.
Well, we'll
And,
see if that continues,
you know,
but
he
he's
missed
got a
like
lot of
the first
noise.
20 games, but
He's got a lot of noise around him. I don't know. I don't know what the Clips, what their long-term, going forward path is. So
This
we'll just have to see.
actually leads me to something I've never talked about here, but something Thunder fans should know to really understand how different our team is. So I
Yeah.
was reading about the Clips last year, how I think it was Ramona Shelburne, I think, had done a deep dive story on ESPN about some of the internal Clippers struggles. Apparently, like Kawhi and James Harden didn't even travel with the team. Like they would take their own, like when the team would get on a bus to go to the
Hmm.
airport, they'd take their own vehicle to the airport and follow separately. And like it's just weirdness. Like they don't have that camaraderie that like clearly our guys like Shea's clearly the best player on the team, but you
Hmm.
don't see him saying, "Well, I'm so good, I need to go ride by myself and like I
Oh
can't
goodness,
be
no.
part of the team." Like I don't know how you lead a team to greatness when you're not even willing to hang out with them.
Well, Harden's always had I say always, at least since he first went to Houston and became the one in Houston, like that became his thing. He would show up a day late or not be on the plane or what, like that became his norm. And who was it? I wish I could remember. And it was last year, but it was applicable this week. I saw somebody put it up. There was a broadcaster that went all in on Harden last season, saying, you've moved here, you moved there, you asked for this, you want Daryl Morey, so they get Daryl Morey. You want a different coach, you want Russ, you want to go to the Nets, you want to go here, you want to play with this person, and you do all this, and you still can't get over the hump. You still can't. Like they went. It was like 2 minutes of just ranting, and they were talking about the fact you don't go here, you don't participate, you keep yourself aside and you want all these things. And
Yeah.
so when you hear the history of a player, I can understand why your friend might be frustrated because the past does not predict future performance, but it sure gives an idea. So I don't know, our guys are funny because they are so close. And what's so funny is so many people are now like, well, they stole that from us. We used to do that. It's like, really? Okay. Well, whatever it is, our boys are still doing it and still loving it.
It was especially funny to hear Dylan Brooks claiming that the Thunder stole the culture from the Grizzlies that he helped set for the Grizzlies. And it's like, dude, the Grizzlies got rid of you because you were such a locker room menace. Like,
Right? Like, can we put a mirror up so that, maybe you can see something?
I don't know. And that's not to take away Dylan Brooks doing great things in Phoenix this year. It does.
Absolutely.
Maybe he learned from that experience, but the revisionist history to now go back and act like this came from him is just really silly.
Well, I know that Dylan Brooks did not embrace the the Grizzlies sideline reporter the way that our guys have embraced Nick Gallo.
Yes,
Nick
those of
Gallo.
you follow us on the Thunder Gals account on Threads, then you might have seen this video today. It's Friday, February 6th. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it was a montage from somebody that I don't see regularly in NBA threads. So, but they came up with this montage saying, here, this is Nick Gallo, sideline reporter, and the guys love him. And it was a great montage of all the nonsense that the guys do to him, dressing him up, putting the towels on, putting him in jackets, putting him in t-shirts. But one of my favorite parts of it was there was a shot of the night that the guys won the NBA championship, and Jay Will just wrapped Nick up in a big old hug and was like, "We did it, we did it!" Because Nick's part of their team. He's a. I mean, they always got to make sure he looks good before the game starts. J Dub is still over there pre and post game, always, and dusting him. I love
Dusting
it.
off those shoulders, straightening that jacket.
Yes, making sure his fit is just on point. But it's just part of the community. You talk about, again, personalities and fit in the culture. So Jared McCain, with his giddy sense and his playfulness, is going to fit right in because, again, person before player. That's how that they look at things, and I think this will be a good culture fit, and I'm excited to have him come in.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait for him to make his debut. I'm not sure when that will be, but as
Don't
soon
know.
as we know exactly when it'll be, we'll make sure to let you know. I did see today he will be wearing number 30 for the Thunder.
If we had I don't think we've had a 30 before.
I think it said on the post I saw the last person to wear it was Olivier Sarr a
Oh,
few
yep,
years
yep, yep.
ago. So
At least it's
it's
not
not one that's
35.
run it's not one we've put on a lot. So
It's not 35 and somebody, having issues with anybody wearing 35. That one's in the closet now.
yes.
So,
All right. Well, this past week, we had a nice win against Orlando, but unfortunately,
mhm.
that was the first night of a back-to-back. We already had several injuries going into the Orlando game, so we were already kind of thin. I Hart, who's finally back and getting better, getting into the swing of things, and like the rust is coming off. You can see
Got his
him
triple double.
starting to get better, and then he takes a finger just directly into the eye. He ended up with a bruised cornea, could not play the next night over this.
Mm,
Shea, it was like an abductor strain, I think they said it
yep.
was for Shea, which is like an abdominal muscle. He had kind of a rough night on Tuesday night, shooting the ball. He did get to his 20 points, but
Then he
you
was
know,
out. He
yeah,
was done. It was like,
it
take him
seemed like
out,
he
team.
stayed in to get to his 20 points, even though he was injured. And
Yeah,
so,
I don't blame him for that. I just don't. When you're
no,
chasing a record and you're 120 in, come on. You're not you're
you're like 6 games away from the record. You stay in that game and get your 20 points.
wrap it up. Just put some dressing on it. Let's go. Let's go.
But
Yeah.
because of that, he's now out through at least the All-Star break.
Yeah.
So I'm a little sad. I was excited that he was a starter for the All-Stars and that he was going to be one of the leaders of that world squad. But he's definitely not going to be playing in those games now. But Chet
It
will
makes
still be there making his debut, hopefully.
Absolutely. I can't wait and hope he gets to play. The thing that irritates me, and I've made my irritation quite known, but on threads. Um, well, and my post game rap, and everywhere else I can scream it. Um, you mentioned in your pregame preview for the Orlando Magic game that a lot of these guys were questionable. Like
Yes.
we figured they were going to sit a lot of people because the Spurs was in San Antonio. It was a national game. It was a back-to-back. So why would you have all of these questionable people come into a game that you may not necessarily have needed them? And then they ended up playing. And then Shea gets hurt. I Hart gets hurt. And then here comes Wednesday night. We're in San Antonio. You take a look at that bench. Most of our guys didn't even fly to San Antonio. There were three guys on the bench, and those were our two-way players. We had eight
Yeah.
guys suit up. Eight. Five contract, three two-ways, the two-ways on the bench, and Mark's having to rotate all eight out through. the entire 48 minutes. And kudos to them. They did a hell of a job,
Oh,
but I was a little
absolutely.
irritated.
They played tough. They got it to within 4 points with under 3 minutes to go in the game. They
Wimby
forced
was playing in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Come
they
on.
forced the Spurs to play their starters all the way to the end. So, I mean, it's another one of those moments where these guys got a lot of valuable minutes in a big, important
Absolutely.
game that will hopefully really pay off come May and June when we need that depth to be ready and not be scared of a big moment. So, it was
Absolutely.
important for that regard. There were some Spurs fans casting aspersions out there.
Look at
uh,
you. Listen,
and saying that the Thunder need to be investigated for sitting all these guys. Well, let me tell you, we watch every game.
yeah,
We are that banged up right now.
so banged up. It's just, somebody said, being scared isn't listed as an injury. And I was like, okay, user 187948283.
With no
Sure.
profile picture, whatever you say.
Okay. But it's just they get so, and I get it, fandom. I get it, but I cannot imagine, and this is me personally, I cannot imagine throwing things out and saying, "Oh, they're just scared to play us." What? Were they scared in the other 17 times we played? No. I mean, it's a regular season game. It's
Also,
not.
also, you think Shea's not gonna play if he's feeling it? Like
Come on. Yeah.
just a few nights earlier, he went into that game against Denver on national TV, clearly intent on putting his mark on the MVP race and saying, "Oh, y'all think that because Jokic is back with enough games that he might still be in the MVP race? I'll show you," and goes out and scores like 34 points at the same time that we hold Jokic to 20.
Yeah. Well, and with this keeping him out, like I wish he would have sat for the Orlando game, been available. Not to say that the abductor strain wouldn't have happened in the San Antonio game, but I mean, we're this close to All-Star break, and I've been saying get us to All-Star break. These injuries are just nonsense. But from a Shea personal and business side, what activations did he already have set up, out in LA for All-Star break, All-Star weekend, because I think he debuted a shoe last year. I was expecting another colorway to come out, something, you know, Shay as Shay the business person is not going to want to miss an opportunity like All-Star weekend. So you can't tell me that he's happy that this happened, that he's, scared and this is where we are. Shay's not
No,
like that.
no, I've seen nothing in his history that would suggest that
No.
this guy, is missing games just because of any silly reason. He's either healthy and playing, or if he's not playing, it's because he's truly not 100% and can't go. Um,
Yeah.
he's like a winner. He just wants to play and win. So
He's a hooper, as Chris Paul always says.
yeah. Now we got some more big games coming up in the week ahead leading
We
up to this
do.
All-Star break. We've got the Rockets Saturday afternoon, 2:30 Central on
A
ABC.
daytime game.
Yay! Paula might even be able to do a post-game wrap while the sun's still up.
Fingers crossed.
And what time is the sunset in Oklahoma these days?
Um,
It's past 6 now, though,
it
right?
is past 6. We're not past 7 yet, I don't think.
Okay, we're finally back to like it's like still light out at 5:30 instead of 4:30.
Nice. nice. I just, but
So
yeah, so we have the Rockets on Saturday, and
yeah.
then we go to
So you get your early game Saturday, but then
yes,
Monday night you get the late game because we are the second of the doubleheader on NBC and Peacock Monday night against the Lakers.
yeah,
So that's a 9 o'clock Central start. That's 7 Pacific, so it makes sense, but
reasonable for
just
them.
just one of those tough ones for those of us in the Central time zone.
Yeah,
Um,
the home fans.
then we've got the Suns on Wednesday night at 7. So that's three playoff Western Conference playoff teams in a row in these next three games.
Yep.
And then we have the Bucks on Thursday. So you can't tell me that Shea's scared of the Spurs and the Rockets and the Lakers and the Suns and the Bucks.
No. But the thing about the Bucks that's interesting is it's the home game before the All-Star break, but since Oos ended up on the Bucks, he gets to already come back home and play a
Yeah.
game. Home being here.
Well, I mean, it's his home forever. You're a
Hmm.
Thunder legend, Oos. We love you. You're always welcome back in OKC.
I got to high five him in the championship parade, so we are BFFs forever.
Yeah. So yeah, we get Oos coming back next Thursday night ahead of All-Star Weekend. I hope, that could be cool. That might give him a chance to get to hang out with some of the guys one last time that weekend before he has to get back to it as well. So yeah,
Maybe
that'll
so,
be
yeah.
fun. Um,
I hope he, gets acclimated and gets, welcomed and brought in to the Bucks pretty easily.
in case y'all didn't notice, we continue to root for our guys even when they move on, unless their
Yep.
name is Reggie Jackson.
Just saying. Or maybe other people that don't think that they deserve a statue.
I had forgotten that had happened. KD tweeted out that he doesn't think he deserves a statue in Oklahoma City.
I have
Is he playing
no
psychological games?
opinion.
Like is he trying to play like oh, I don't want it, so now you'll give it to me?
Reverse
Is this
psychology
reverse
card.
psychology?
You know,
Playing
give
the
us
Uno Reverso?
yes. Oh, I don't want it. I don't need it. I mean, I think I'm resolved to the fact that his jersey will go up there.
His jersey
Um,
should.
yeah. I mean,
There's
that's
no way we can say that this Thunder team would be where it is if it weren't for the Russ KD years that helped make us who we are.
like I don't deny that. I'm
So
the bitterness gets sweeter each year. It was very sweet in June. That's all I'm saying. It was exceptionally sweet in October when that big old banner went up. But no, but for real, I honest to God was really surprised that he said it out loud. It was interesting because and he wasn't just talking about Oklahoma. Like the whole conversation was talking about Golden State, and he was like, put my name on a door, or the banners are enough. So I just think that he's reflecting on his time and his legacy, what he finally comes down on and actually says will be interesting to see because he did delete it. He did
I
delete it.
I feel a little bad for him because I feel like
That's another pod.
I
That's
I
another
feel
pod.
like he's searching
I
for
do.
some meaning in his career now as it's come to realize that he doesn't really have a home team anymore.
Yeah, he's actually looks like he's having fun in Houston right now,
Yeah,
but he's also being elder statesman down. Now, granted, he's still knocking down threes that are stupid, but I mean, that's kind of the position he's moving into. And I think it's an interesting transition. So I'm curious.
He's still playing at an all-star level. To do that at his age after coming back from a torn Achilles,
Dude,
I
yeah.
mean, I give him credit. Like I respect hoopers, and for whatever personal feelings I might have, I also want to respect the game and just enjoy the players that we have
Mhm.
while we have them and not take that for granted either. So,
No. I know, anything I truly, truly say is tinged with a little bit of frustration still because of how I felt at that time. As time goes on, it's less and less and less, but
it
I still,
ruined my 4th of July that weekend.
yes.
The
And
the
now I
new the
literally,
news hit. I was on a boat with some friends and family on a lake just outside of Minneapolis called Big Lake. And we were just having a time. It was like 80 degrees and sunny and beautiful. And then all of a sudden the news breaks, and I'm like, just my day went sour for the rest of the day. And no matter how much everyone around me was enjoying life, I was just like, ugh.
I mean, it's 10 years later and I still can't look at a cupcake without giggling. I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, and we'll never have a true, true, true answer from Russ as to whether it really was Petty Crocker or not, but I'd still,
It definitely was. And,
I'm not going to speak for him
but
because
I will
maybe he's
say it does
rising.
seem that those two have kind of made up over the years as well. I noticed that the last time Russ and KD played against each other, or maybe it was on the Starting Five documentary when they were following KD and uh, KD's mom Wanda called
Oh,
Russ
yeah.
over and was like, "You better give me a hug." Like,
Yeah.
so I think, they've probably made up and but it was definitely raw at the time for them, for us, for everybody. That was a raw moment. But then we've won a championship now, so
Look at that banner behind
we're
you.
just,
Look at
it's
my banner.
all in the
Raised
past now.
banner. Yes, our guys. So I'm excited to see Jared come in. I'm excited to see how the back half, I say back half of the season, we're at 51 games in. We're past the halfway point.
Yeah. The back
After the
third.
All-Star break, yes, because that's when we're going to start seeing positioning. That's when
Mhm.
you're going to start seeing the teams. I mean, we've had a target on our back the whole season because we're the champs, but we still have enough of a cushion right now, injuries aside. But all the other teams trying to get 2 through 8 and then the play in and all, you're going to see them just playing so much more, I think, aggressively at least through March until things are locked in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so that'll be fun to watch.
Well, I think that does it for this week. Had a lot happen, lots of stuff onto the trade deadline. We even had Thunder movement. We got rid of some draft picks that we couldn't have used anyway, because at some point, because we don't have a roster of 37.
Adam, call me.
But we got one more week till the All-Star break. We will be back with you next Friday, heading into All-Star weekend.
Yep,
And until then, find us on Threads, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Blue Sky. We will continue to post our pre and post game content.
yep,
And if you want more of our just day-to-day fun stuff, you're far more likely to find that on our Threads account and or our personal Threads accounts, because that's where we're most active. Make sure to smash that subscribe button,
yeah, button.
like our video. Our numbers keep increasing on YouTube, but we, keep telling your friends about us and keep bringing people in. Oh, and one other final thing before I go. I got to be a guest on another podcast this week
Yes, yes,
called
yes, yes.
There Are No Girls on the Internet. That episode is supposed to drop either later today or possibly next Tuesday. It's not really Thunder related, but I did drop a plug about our podcast there. But
Yep.
if you want to hear about some of my outside of sports work, you can go check that out when that drops. I'll be talking a little bit about a case I'm working on dealing with OU that you all might have heard about.
And for what I'm up to, yeah, threads. Threads. That's it.
So, all right, y'all. Thank you for being with us from still occupied Minnesota. This is Oklahoma Gal.
And from very warm and not snowy Oklahoma, it's Paula.
All right, y'all. Peace and thunder up.
Bye, guys.